Little Artist Academia presents How to Draw Pikachu. So grab a pencil, a black pen, a piece of paper, and something to color with, and we'll begin. Before you pick up your pencil, let's take a look at a photo of Pikachu. Pikachu has a mostly round head with two curves where his cheeks are. His cheeks are round and red, and he has round black eyes and a tiny little dot for a nose. There are two white circles inside of his eyes. Pikachu has long, pointy ears. He has two curves that represent the top of his mouth and a long curve representing the bottom of his mouth. And then there's a curve you can see where his tongue is. For his body, there are two curves at the bottom that represent where his legs are. His tail forms a zigzag pattern. The end of his tail is almost but not quite a rectangle. The top curves slightly, and there's an angle on the right side. Pikachu's feet are almost an oval. Same with his arms, the curve almost like an oval. And for his hands, he has a pointy thumb and then four little curves for the rest of his fingers. Now it's time for us to draw. Okay, to start, we're gonna draw Pikachu's head, which is more or less a circle. So we're gonna start with a circle, and then we're gonna draw his body, and he has those two curves that represent his legs at the bottom. It curves up. Next, we're gonna draw two ovals, one for each foot, and then two ovals for his arms. Next, we're gonna draw his pointy ears. And then I'm going to draw two circles for his eyes. And then a little teeny tiny little circle for his nose. And then two curves for the top of his mouth, and then this long curve for the bottom of his mouth. Next, we're gonna draw his cheeks. So his head is not a perfect circle. Where his cheeks come out, we're gonna draw two circles for his cheeks. And where his cheeks come out, his head comes out, curves out a bit, and then comes back into his head. So, comes out, comes back in. And there's two circles that are going to be left blank when we color them in, and that's going to make his eyes look nice and shiny. Next, we're going to draw his tail. And his tail is like the zigzag pattern, but I'm going to start with drawing the end part of the tail. It's kind of a sort of a rectangle, but not quite. Kind of curves a little bit up here. Has an angle right there. And then we're going to bring this line down a little bit, jog over to the left, come back down at this angle, and go straight over there. Straight, come back up to the right, and then draw a line to meet up with the end of his tail. Kind of a interesting shape. And then he has, you can draw little loops here, and this part of his tail is going to be brown. So I'm looking at his arms. I think they're a little in the wrong place and a little small. So I'm going to correct that. So it's going to be more like this. And then this is going to be more like that. Just erase. And you don't really, so I'm cleaning up my work right now. So it makes a little more sense. So you can start seeing where his arms are. Can erase where his feet meet up with his legs. And the right side of his body kind of, when he is in this position, it kind of comes down at an angle a little bit. There's kind of this little curve right here, and then it curves there. So I'm going to draw a little curve for his tongue inside of his mouth. And then 2 lines on each foot that's going to represent his toes. And then we just have to draw on his hands. So for his hands, the thumb is like this pointy, bigger. It's a little bit bigger and it's pointy like that. And then he has 5 fingers total. So there's 4 other fingers, and you can just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. And we'll do it again on the other hand. So thumb is going to be on the top. It's real pointy and bigger. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then his arm is going to come in and curve and kind of meet the fingers. Something like that. And then erase where the ears meet up with the head. Okay. So now that we have sketched our Pikachu, grab your black pen and we're going to do a clean outline of the drawing, and then we can erase our pencil work and we'll make it look nice and neat. So start. Okay, now that I've outlined my line work in pen, I'm going to erase all the pencil work And now it's time to color. And there you go. That is one way to draw Pikachu. Now it's time to get creative. You could draw Pikachu with lightning shooting out of his cheeks. You could draw Pikachu as a detective. Or you could draw Pikachu looking extra cute. There's lots of ways to have fun drawing Pikachu.